Hello, it is Friday, September 3rd, 2021. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to my New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Friday puzzle, so a tricky puzzle, most likely, our first themeless puzzle of the week, we now know, and almost as difficult as a Saturday puzzle tomorrow, but hopefully not quite. And speaking of puzzles on other days, let's talk about yesterday's Thursday puzzle. There were a couple clues that they weren't things I didn't know necessarily, but there are things I certainly didn't have as much context around. One of them was that, well, actually, no, I guess I didn't know this. Shaquille O'Neal apparently has a doctorate in education, the great basketball star. And Ocon comments to point out, Dr. O'Neal, formerly speaking, he left after his freshman year at LSU to begin a Hall of Fame NBA career. However, he proceeded with his education in the off-seasons and in retirement to be an example to his children and others that education is important. So yeah, I had no idea. He went on to presumably then graduate from undergraduate and then get a doctorate in education. Well done to Dr. O'Neal. And this I found particularly fascinating. I had no idea really about the history of Coney dogs and how they're related to Coney Island. So one of the clues yesterday was simply blank dog, and the fill was Coney, which I recognized. I think probably for most people, I would guess for most non-Americans who have heard of Coney Island, they probably know it from being a neighborhood and most often a sort of beachfront, sort of amusement, fun fair, boardwalk sort of area of that neighborhood in New York, Coney Island. But apparently, and I only learned this morning, Coney Island is an entire sort of category of restaurant that flourished in the United States, and the Coney dog is named after that kind of restaurant. They sprung up in Michigan, and Michael Trapani says, Coney dogs originate from Greek immigrants and appear in various cities in the early 1900s. The most well-known association with Coneys is Detroit, where American Coney Island and Lafayette Coney Island originated and still operate next door to each other. They are found in several other cities, mostly within the Midwest, all with their own spin, although Chicago is not one of them. So, yeah, very interesting. And apparently the name Coney Island was associated with these restaurants because Coney Island, the neighborhood in New York, which is the original source of the name, was a common landing spot for immigrants. And so when these, I think in this case, Greek and Macedonian immigrants set up their restaurants in Michigan, they adopted that name as sort of a signifier for their new businesses. And that name spread. And I really didn't know that whole history. So a Coney dog, if you're wondering, if you don't know, is a hot dog topped with mustard and white onion and optionally cheese. So there you go. Whole education in Coney Island and Coney dogs. Much of that new to me. So perhaps much of today's puzzle will be new to me as well. Who knows? This is a Friday crossword by Brendan Emmett Quigley and Paolo Pasco. I definitely recognize Brendan Emmett Quigley. I think this must be a constructor who is quite prolific because I think I've seen that name a number of times. Paolo Pasco as well, maybe not as often as Brendan Emmett Quigley, but I've certainly seen both of these names before. So experienced constructors at work. Are we ready to get started? I think we are. Okay. Covered up. That's pretty vague so far, so let's move on. Robinson of TV's I Think You Should Leave. I don't think I recognize this. Charity bowling event, e.g. Charity bowling event, e.g. Is that some kind of pun or is that straightforward? What is particular about a bowling event for charity? Not sure I see that. Home to Waianui Falls, I think that's maybe pronounced. I'm not sure, but it looks Hawaiian. I mean, it looks like the Hawaiian language. So I wonder if it's one of the islands of Hawaii. It could be Maui or Oahu. Those are both islands of Hawaii. Does either of those help here? Ga. So if it's Maui or Oahu, it could end with I or you. Ga. You seems more likely. Not sure. 0 for 0 degrees. I'm starting to sense this is going to be a tricky puzzle. This could be something like sine, maybe? Is 0 the sine of 0 degrees? I'm just saying that because it's a trigonometric operation that has 4 letters in it. It could, yeah. Casino game that's 100% luck. 100% luck. Is craps 100% luck? I'm wondering if by 100% luck, slots, I guess. I mean, I guess craps still has an element that the player is contributing to, but slots is genuinely hands off. You simply say go, and there's no other player input. So maybe this is sine. To keep busy, on the whole, could be in all. Not very confident about that. Robinson of TVs, I think you could leave. Tim, it would fit. I don't know. I'm not very confident about in all. Let's maybe remove that for now. Maybe I'll use that pencil function. Maybe I'll keep trying to remember that the pencil function exists. You can't quite see it on the screen, but there's a little pencil icon in the upper right that allows you to write letters in this lighter shade. And I never think to use it, but maybe we'll give it a shot. Conspicuously unfamiliar party guest. Informally. Boy, I don't know what that's getting at. One blank punch, kung fu technique. One hand, one palm? I mean, most punches are one hand. Is it one palm technique, maybe? I don't know. I'm not feeling very confident about this crossword in general so far. So we have pants material for 1 down and 2 down. One of them could be denim. Is khaki a material or color? Boy, I'm really not in my element today, am I? I mean, denim is certainly a material. Could that be either of... Well, that wouldn't work with Maui or Oahu, so either denim is wrong or one of those guesses is wrong, or both. Liberal leader could be neoliberal. So denim wouldn't work with either of these. Actually, neither would khaki. Chino? Is chino a material? Or a style of pant? Covered up. Home to Waianui Falls. I'm not confident about this either. This is going to be a tough one, folks, so be ready for a long video. Frequent rock soloist. So this could be rock music, which is the most obvious interpretation, but I'm sort of guessing, based on the way this puzzle's going, that it's something else. Frequent rock soloist. Words before yes, I cried in Return of the Mac. Ah, boy. I mean, I know this song, but this would be a great thing to remember, given that it's knowledge I should have, because it would fill quite a few letters. When has that ever been true? Amusement online. Lols? Elided pronoun. Elided pronoun. What pronoun would fit here? Trash collector could be a bin. I mean, I'm tempted to use the pencil again here. Blank theory. Feels as though that could probably be a few things. Brand whose last letter is in the shape of its product. Brand whose last letter is in the shape of its product. Ego, that comes to mind because that was an answer in a recent crossword, and they make waffles which are in the shape of an O. I mean, it could be the case. Filter feeders fodder. Filter feeders fodder. So what would go in... Is it something that goes in a filter, or is it something that is fed specifically to a feeder of filters? Probably overthinking everything here. In that case, move on. Could end with go. Saturday morning character. Well, Saturday morning cartoons. It's a common convention in the US, so it could be a tune. Blank theory could be set theory, like number theory. Table salt is made of them. Table salt is made of them. Of them. Ions? No, what? British composer Gustav Holst, composer of The Planets. Sweet. Table salt is made of them. Why am I not seeing what that is? It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like there's a lot of freedom in what this could be, given it's a plural that has to fit in 4 letters. Some natural history museum exhibits, for short. Well, probably ends in an S. Beings made from smokeless fire in the Quran. Could it be jinns? Brand image is a logo. All right, so this area is looking like the really my only confident section of this puzzle so far. Creating a diversion from a damaging issue in politics. Oh, create a diversion. So sort of damage control, basically, is what this is. Not sure what that's getting at immediately. Podcaster Mark Maron is a podcaster. Does a long-running interview podcast, I think. Actress Glazer. Don't know. Could be Ilana, maybe. May celebrants. Well, May Day is sort of labor celebration. Moms is Mother's Day in May. There are different Mother's Days worldwide. Actress Chaplin. I think Una Chaplin is an actress. So this could be Ilana. I don't think I know this person, but that looks plausible. Warehouse cost could be a storage fee. Blank citato in the work quoted. I'm not sure. Latin. Show of hands. Something magic? Gimme, gimme, gimme. I want? Maybe because for the I in magic, perhaps. Animal whose name sounds like you. Well, you, female sheep, literally sounds like you, so that must be it. Longtime mint brand that doesn't contain any mint. Bearing gifts we traverse afar. We Three Kings lyric. That sounds right. Took off, went, I suppose. Licks say. Wets, I guess. Actually, I think this came up a couple weeks ago in the crossword, and I was utterly, it completely stumped me. And it's because I didn't take proper account of the say. So this, in other words, this is a word that doesn't literally mean wets, but, licks say. This is something that happens when you lick something. You could say wets. When you lick something, you wet it. Longtime mint brand that doesn't contain any mints, certs, I guess, which that does sound sort of familiar, and that makes magic look more likely. That makes Ilana look more likely. Could be an E or an I suppose. In that case, move on. Could be just let go. Less confident about the just than the let go. So this is commonsensical. That L wouldn't work with bin, but I wasn't very confident about bin anyway. The reason I say that is because it seems too straightforward for the way this puzzle is going, which seems full of misdirection. And trash collector bin just seems a little too easy for some reason to me. I don't know about this either, though. All right, let's. I think I've skipped some acrosses. Let's go back. Maybe I haven't actually. Oh, names could be IDs. In other words, if you name a suspect, you ID them. Christchurch resident, Christchurch, New Zealand. So a Kiwi, presumably. Names. All right, looks like maybe it is IDs. What was this again? Filter feeders fodder. Kind of looks like helps maybe, but obviously though I'm pretty confident about Holst. Krill? Is that something that bottom feeders eat in the ocean? Table salt is made of them. Maybe it is ions. Spot for a hairpin. Maybe not, though. Oh, a road. Maybe a hairpin turn in a road. Maybe it is ions. Creating a diversion from a damaging issue in politics. I feel like I should know this. Role for Malcolm Jamal Warner on The People versus O.J. Simpson. Oh, I wanted to see this, but I never did. All right, who was involved in the O.J. Simpson trial? Oh boy, I can't. Now, of course, I can't remember. Boy, that really dominated my couple years of my childhood. I just mean I'm of the age when that was utterly dominant when I was in primary school. Sorry, this is probably obvious to a lot of people because you simply have to remember the names of the people involved in this case, and I'm failing to do that. Sorry. Elided pronoun. Oh, I see. Elided pronoun. So y'all. So what this means is it's a pronoun that is an elision of a longer pronoun. So you all, that phrase gets elided, sort of contracted. You're skipping over some of the enunciation and contracting it to make y'all, which becomes its own pronoun for second person plural. Words before yes, I cried, almost certainly you or you'll. Keep busy. To keep busy. Why am I not seeing this? Up ends with up. When has that ever been true? Is that something? What? Boy, I really feel like I'm missing some things that should be easier gets. I'm sorry. Site for a movie poster with a question mark. So what does that mean? Oh, could it mean something like a website where you might post movies like YouTube or something like that? Commonsensical. I think this is probably throwing me off, seeing these pencil marks. Actor John of Broadway's Carousel. I'm not sure. Unfooled by. Could be onto. Congressman Kinzinger. I'm not sure. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Oh. Was there another one of those, or was this the one? Just the one in question? Mine, maybe. Charity bowling event, e.g. I don't really know what. This seems like it's getting at something clever, but I'm just not seeing it. Conspicuously unfamiliar party guest, informally. I don't know. Could this be gins? Would that work? That doesn't look great here. Doesn't seem like a thing for the Quran, though. Artist in the avant-garde Fluxus movement. I don't know. Actress Glazer, old automaker with the models Fire Dome, Fireflight, and Fire Sweep. World War II aircraft carrier. Blank citato. Enchantress in Greek myth. Is this Circe? 2020 Christopher Nolan sci-fi thriller. That's Tenet. Line from a bit, question mark. Oh, a rein, like a horse, like a bit in a horse's mouth, and the rein extends from it. Sneaky blank, sneaky Pete sort of sounds like something. Is that a phrase? I'm not really sure. Mohawk Valley City, maybe Utica. I'm just saying that because it would fit with what I have. Don't know if that's the location. Appear alongside could be a butt, to be next to something. Place to get a cold brew, a beer for. Oh, I see. Place to get a cold brew. So again, a bit of misdirection. Cold brew is often how you refer to coffee that's been brewed cold. But this means how to get a brew, a beer, that is cold. A beer fridge, I guess. Collection of 10 directives written by Vladimir Lenin. April something probably here. World War II aircraft carrier. I don't know what that's getting at. Show of hands. Right. Senegal to Togo direction. Well, we know this must be one of 4 letters. North-south for north, southeast, or west. That's not helpful to me here. Create a division from a damaging... I keep saying that. Create a diversion from a damaging issue in politics. Boy, this is killing me. I wish this were more obvious to me. Fisher with a stone net. A fisher with a stone net. I'm not familiar with a stone net, unfortunately. FAQ checkers. Well, it probably ends with S anyway. Yearbook group. I don't know. Editors? No. Who works on a yearbook? Could it be a class? So freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors. Juniors and seniors would both fit in there. So it's probably one of those in the sense that each one of them has a section in an American yearbook. These are the 4 years of secondary school in the United States, corresponding to what, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. So probably ends in an R. Fisher with a stone net. Makes sense that there would be an R at the end of there. Probably something ER. Maybe this isn't beer fridge. FAQ, I mean, I don't know. Very doubtful of all my guesses in this crossword so far. Fridge is probably beer cooler. That's actually a thing that one might say. Beer fridge isn't really a thing, I guess. So World War II aircraft carrier, I'm still not seeing that, though. Oh, maybe this is an eeler. An eel is actually a fish, which is probably obvious to some people, but it always strikes me as sort of odd that an eel is a fish. It looks like it should be some other category of thing. FAQ checkers. So someone who checks a frequently asked question page. Is it someone who checks it for errors, or is it someone who checks it because they're curious about the things that are covered and they want the answers? Now blank even. Now we're even, I suppose. FAQ checkers. Users, I guess? Users of a service or a website? Oh, April Theses, probably. The 10 directives written by Vladimir Lenin. They're not the main event. Something shows. So that would make seniors. All right, so what is it? Show of hands. Oh, close-up magic? So could that be what that is? If the magician is sort of doing some sleight of hand and you look close in as misdirection? Old automaker with the models Fire Dome, Fireflight, and Firesweep. I don't know these car models, but I know DeSoto is an old automobile brand, a defunct automaker. They're not the main event. Sideshows. Senegal to Togo direction. So it's either south by southeast or east by southeast. Probably not south because that wouldn't work here. So blank cat. Hellcat, maybe? So what is this again? Create a diversion from a damaging issue in politics. Why am I having so much trouble with this? It's killing me. Some natural history museum exhibits, for short, could be dinos. In that case, move on. So just go? I guess, yeah, that's better than just let go, because in that case is so. So it's a very precisely clued answer if that's the case. Oh, but it doesn't fit, so never mind. Does look like that would be E for Alana there as opposed to I. Oh, so let it go. No, yeah, so let it go. So the so was correct. The so is in that case. And let it go is move on. Artist in the avant-garde Fluxus movement, probably Ono, Yoko Ono. And what is this again? Site for a movie poster. Could be a blog, a site, a website, a web blog. And then create a diversion from a damaging issue. Wag the dog? Is that what that is? I always interpreted the phrase wag the dog as, in other words, the tail wags the dog, meaning the people. So, in other words, a politician thinks of themselves as manipulating, the people, for instance. I mean, this is just an example. But in fact, in this case, they're being outsmarted by the person they think they're manipulating. They're sort of the tail wagging the dog. That's what I thought that meant, but maybe I've misinterpreted the meaning of that idiom. It's entirely possible. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments. Okay, so let's see. Roll for Malcolm Jamal Warner on The People versus O.J. Simpson. Oh my goodness, I don't remember who this is or know who this is. When has that ever been true? This looks like what or that. W looks more likely with this collection of letters. Pants material. I mean, could liberal leader be something else? I mean, I said neo pretty early, but that was a pretty wild guess. Are there other things? That makes this less obvious. If that's not neo, which it might be, but it might not be. Liberal leader. I mean, it could be something as straightforward as L, the first letter in liberal. Keep busy. I suspect this will be, tie up. I see. Okay. I put in the P because the U made it look like up, and then tie up is to keep busy. Sorry. Probably many of you saw that. Robinson of TVs, I think you should leave. So it does look like it could be Tim. Site for a movie poster. A media blog? Blog that covers popular media? Frequent, and by that poster meaning someone who posts to a media blog. So in all, does look increasingly plausible. Frequent rock soloist, lead singer, unfooled by, so I could be wrong. So could be lead singer, could be the straightforward meaning of frequent rock soloist. I keep overthinking things in this puzzle, which probably isn't helping. Beings made from smokeless fire in the Quran, commonsensical, actor John, unfooled by. This unfooled by with that G is not looking great. Congressman Kinzinger, gimme, here. Conspicuously unfamiliar party guest, informally. This is something that is completely mystifying me. I mean, there's some, like this O.J. Simpson thing that I just can't remember or don't know, but this, I'm struggling to even understand what this is, informally. Someone who's crashing a party? What is that? I don't understand it, unfortunately. Trash collector, maybe it is a bin. We've got that B there now. I was so skeptical. On what planet? When has that ever been true? On what planet is that true? So this probably is in all. Let's pen that in. Oh. So maybe this is genies. I was looking for gin, which would be the other spelling of it. But now what is this? Frequent rock soloist. Lead. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry about this, everyone. Words before yes, I cried in Return of the Mac. Is it you lied? Commonsensical, evident. This very little in this puzzle is evident to me. Conspicuously unfamiliar party guest informally. Charity bowling event, e.g. Actor John of Broadway's Carousel. This is one I suspect I'm never gonna get. Maybe evident is wrong. Because it's not really commonsensical. I mean, I guess it could be. Charity bowling event. I really don't know. Conspicuously unfamiliar party guest. Maybe here is wrong. Yeah, gimme, gimme, gimme. I mean, here sort of, but based on the So Let It Go, this sort of informal cry this was very specifically constructed. This, in that case, move on, so let it go. So this want, but want isn't really something you'd say. More, gimme, 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 more. Lead, what is this? Good God. Frequent rock soloist. I guess it doesn't have to be a vocal soloist. It could be a drum solo, guitar solo, lead guitar. Congressman Kinzinger, I don't know. Unfooled by, this could be onto again. Commonsensical, so probably not evident. You lie. Oh, you lied to me. Commonsensical, prudent. Oh, a conspicuously unfamiliar party guest, informally a rando, a random person. So this could be Adam Kinzinger. Just I don't know what else that could be as a name. And charity bowling event, e.g., a pro-am, a sort of competition at which both professionals and amateurs are allowed to participate. That would make John Raitt, which I don't recognize, but sounds like a name. All right, now we've got to contend with this very difficult northwestern corner over here. Pants material. Maybe it is chino. Pants material. Covered up. Clad. Home to Waianue Falls. Hilo? That's a place in Hawaii, right? Ga could be dough. One blank punch. Oh, 1 inch punch, maybe? That's better than one hand or one palm, because those both seem too common to be noteworthy. Al Cowlings? I don't recognize that name. Oh, linen pants. Why wasn't that one of the very first things I thought? And liberal is indeed neoliberal. Okay, there's the puzzle. That was a very tricky puzzle for me. I don't know if that bodes well or poorly for tomorrow's Saturday puzzle. If this was an ordinary Friday level of difficulty, it bodes poorly for my luck tomorrow. If this was particularly difficult for a Friday, it might bode well because often they sort of balance each other out. Let me know how you fared. I found this quite tricky, and I think in a lot of cases I was both over and underthinking. I think more often I was overthinking things. Frequent rock soloist, being lead guitar, should have probably gotten that pretty early because there's really only 2 frequent soloists in rock, and they're the lead singer and the lead guitarist. So lead guitar maybe slightly, but you can refer to a person in a rock band as lead guitar rather than lead guitarist. What else should I have gotten quickly? Bin, I went back and forth on so many times. Turned out to be right. Sign, I was lucky, I think, with that, probably. Wag the dog is interesting. I'm very curious to see if I have misunderstood this phrase for a long time. There was a film called Wag the Dog. And I guess, you know what? Now that I think about it, I saw this in theaters when it came out. And it's about political, I don't know, consultants or something who recommend to presidential administration, I suppose, that they formulate a fictional war in Albania in order to distract from an extramarital affair the president is having. I think that's the premise of that film. And I suppose that is the name of the film is Wag the Dog, and that creating a diversion from a damaging issue in politics is precisely what was happening in that film. So probably I've been misunderstanding this phrase for most of my life, despite having seen a film named after this precise usage of it. So that's something I guess I should have gotten more quickly. Close-up magic is funny. I wonder if that's a real phrase. That strikes me as slightly awkward. Beer cooler, I should have gotten more quickly. Beer fridge was an odd thing to put in there, given there's a much more common phrase for it. Um, yeah, chino and linen, that's frustrating. I really should have hit upon linen earlier because it's got these very easy to place letters like I, N, and E. Really should have gotten that more quickly. Tie up as well, I think. Media blog, site for a movie poster. That is a very clever clue. I mean, I will say there was some quite clever cluing going on in this puzzle. There really was. Beans made from smokeless fire in the Quran. Given that I had jinn as a guess very early, I'm slightly disappointed in myself that I didn't land on the alternate spelling of genies. Elided pronoun is really good. I mean, it's not a clever clue. It's actually quite direct. It's very straightforward, but very good. It's a good way to describe the word y'all. Brandy's last letter is in the shape of its product, Ego. I got extremely lucky with this, given that Ego had come up in a puzzle recently. I think had Ego not been present mere days ago, I would have needed crosses for sure to arrive at this. Spot for a hairpin road, a hairpin turn. In other words, a turn that's so sharp it resembles the curve of a hairpin. That's a good clue for road, I think. I don't know Hellcat, the aircraft carrier. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I mean, just in general, there's actually a great deal of very good cluing in this puzzle. I don't really think it's a particularly unfair puzzle, but I did find it quite challenging. So again, let me know how you fared. I'm very curious to hear how this puzzle was for others watching. And if you enjoyed this video, whether or not you enjoyed the puzzle, I did though, please consider subscribing. Very easy. Click the button underneath the video and you will be notified of these videos each morning to whatever level of notification you desire on your various devices. And if you think you might know someone who needed some help with today's very tricky Friday puzzle, at least I found it to be very tricky, pass this along. Maybe they would enjoy this video or this series in general. And if you enjoy this video or this series in general, why not consider tossing me a couple of quid or a few bucks to help me make this whole thing sustainable? I've been doing it for a few months now. I'd like to keep doing it for quite a while if I can, and those donations really help me in that desire. So thank you so much to everyone who's done so, especially, as I always say, because it always is true, especially to those of you who have chosen to donate on that recurring monthly basis. It occurred to me maybe I could start doing some bonus puzzles maybe for people who have a monthly recurring donation. Might have to do that on Patreon. I'm not sure if you can release videos for subscribers on Ko-fi. I'll have to look at it and check it out. But I was thinking maybe I could start doing the monthly bonus puzzle on there, maybe just other interesting puzzles that pop up. I could take recommendations maybe of puzzles to solve on video from subscribers. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I would like to, obviously I would like to do as many videos as I can on the free feed as well, but given the time commitment this already takes, it would be nice to have a special reward for those people who are helping me make this whole thing work. So thanks to those who are. Anyway, that's it for today's video. This is running on because that was a bit of a long solve, so I'll let you go. I hope you have an excellent remainder of your Friday, and I do hope I see you again tomorrow for the possibly even more difficult Saturday crossword. Until then, take care.